We sometimes we don't admit it, but we all tend to have egos.
No.
So when there's another DJ around, like there's this DJ in the crowd, you tend to want to impress them, right? But you shouldn't. You just do your thing, right? It's almost our insecurity. They're trying to show off.
Or like
right?
the camaraderie could be like, hey, look what I can do.
Yeah. And I found myself doing this all the time, but I don't really focus on it, but I do it. Subconsciously, I do it.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Clever DJ with Ilia
and Nino. Another special episode.
Another one.
Another one.
Another special episode from Ilia and Nino at The Clever DJ podcast.
How you guys doing today?
How are you guys doing?
Haven't seen you guys in a week.
Yes.
Technically.
We sometimes pre-record, as most shows do.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? So today's episode is about who are we trying to please as DJs? Who do we focus on? Now, clearly the client, of course, the person who hired us, whether it's a birthday, a stag and doe, Jack and Jill, a wedding,
whatever
it is. Of course, the client, the man or woman or both who hired us. But that's not the reality. It's not just the clients who hired us. It's also a bunch more people who are involved in those gigs because of so many reasons, which we're gonna cover today. So take it up.
Now we're in the service industry, right? So technically, we're trying to please everyone, but we're going to give you specifics now and why we're trying to please everyone. So starting off with obviously the person who hired us. Now, if it's a wedding, usually it's the couple, right? Mm-hmm. So there's also promoters or event coordinators or the person who is paying us. Like literally, it's pretty much everyone. This means going above and beyond with customer service. Now, this includes us being on time, which is very important. Following clients must plays, like
or don't plays,
yeah, exactly. Sometimes we have to get no plays because it's very specific to certain clients that they don't want things played because it irks them when it comes to certain songs. It makes their wedding cheesy or their event cheesy too,
or
right?
reminds them of something they don't want to be reminded of.
Yeah, like so a past girlfriend
or someone passed away and that was their song. Do you remember that one wedding?
Yes.
Yeah. So that it could be so many reasons, but it's really important to follow that, build a rapport, give them a peace of mind with certain updates, and just if your couple asks you for a song, that you're literally playing it next or immediately. Yeah. So it shows them that their input is of utmost importance to you. But at the same time, you're there also to know how to break the truth to them in a way that they'll appreciate. Like, hey, I don't think we should play this now. Or like, hey, how about we do this next?
Yes. Like the truth is very important to them. They take this very seriously because they appreciate our actual input because we are the professionals. That's why they're paying us. Right?
Exactly.
So our input is very, very important to them.
And one of the most important things when you were saying this, I wanted to say something. Event coordinators, they're the mafia of the wedding industry in some places because sometimes certain areas, certain venues, certain regions have like 2 or 3 coordinators that everyone knows.
Yeah. Right.
And they can get you lots of gigs, or they can make sure you don't get any gigs.
It's true. It's very, very true.
You don't want to get on their bad side. You definitely want to get on their good side. And they know that. You always do the dance. Oh, how's it going? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know how it is.
You got to remember them.
Remember their names, especially.
What they like, what they don't like. They're extremely important. So people are like, oh, what are you talking about? You're there for the client.
Yeah,
You're there for the client, but there's so much more to look out for.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. And we talk a lot about weddings because really like that's a huge part of the industry. And we're not club DJs. Maybe I will be in the future. I'm actually getting into like bars and stuff like that. You used to do that back in the day. You still do that that restaurant that's kind of like a lounge.
Yeah, I still do it once in a while, but you know.
Are you still there?
Yeah, still there.
You still have time for that?
Barely. Barely, but I'm still there. I take a lot of time off from doing that
What
event.
days is it on?
It's on Fridays.
Friday nights?
So I've been taking it off for the past like month now because I've been having events, right? So
So you did take time off there.
Yeah.
All right. I really wanted to do that, but when you told me the type of music, I was like, what was the name of the genre?
Neo soul.
What the hell is that?
It's another like a funky term just to say like old school R&B, pretty much.
Neo soul. I never heard of
soul.
it. I just. How many genres are out? Like that's one of the
There are tons.
things that really shocked me as a DJ. Even certain EDM genres have like another like
subgenres.
5 to 10 subgenres,
Yes,
and then
it's
they
true.
have more. And I feel like people are like really going above and beyond to try to find another subgenre. Sometimes it just doesn't make
it
sense.
doesn't make sense.
It just fits into this one
It
and
fits
stop
in
making
there.
it complicated.
Yeah. It's true.
So what else? It says we are also trying to please the supervisor, manager, or person in charge. Show them that we need little to no guidance. Therefore, showing our professionalism. Also, the venue owners, in case they are looking for preferred vendors. That's a big point.
Yeah, that's a big point.
Fast
especially.
load-ins and especially load-outs because they want to go home.
Yes.
I have so much to say about that. You take it because you have all the experience.
Well, with this stuff, you have to you just have to be fast, right? They want you to set up fast and be efficient to leave fast too, so you can go home. And they're looking for certain vendors that can, like, just what's the word? Like, what's sorry. Yeah, exactly. Cricket. But they want vendors that can
Reliable vendors that they can trust, like kind of like people who are managing themselves instead of needing to be managed.
Yeah.
When you get your thought back, let us know. But
I'm trying to think of exact word I'm trying to say.
But I'll give an example, and that's actually from the same place where I used to work as a bartender. It's the owner of that venue is extremely strict, and she will charge the wedding couple or whatever event is there, corporate, an extra hour if everyone is late, if somebody is late.
Yeah,
even if their DJ is late. If the DJ, yes, she did that multiple times. She will charge
at the end, like if he stayed over time, like to pack up.
Yes, so then they will charge them for an extra hour, and then you will have to pay them back. So say, go deal with the DJ.
Oh, that's terrible.
Very bad business etiquette. A lot of people don't like her for that. That's why I'm not mentioning any names. But it was just she had serious problems.
Your best friend.
She would talk to me for hours before. Like she would talk to me for like, I don't want to exaggerate. She spoke to me for like 45 minutes to an hour. Okay, totally, it was hours. Before I left, she found out we're like from the same part of the world. Like she was really happy about that. I was like, fine, let's build a rapport. Let's get closer with her. I leave. I think she was still. Yeah, I managed to leave. I didn't want to hang up on her. I'm leaving. I'm in an apartment. I'm walking through the, I'm going down the stairs instead of taking the elevator. Somehow I did not lose her underground. We have like extra like antennas here. So I don't know what they did. I didn't lose her underground. I'm driving for half an hour. She's still on the phone with me most of the drive. I get there. She sees me there, like creating the special drinks and everything. Forget what they're called, like the special drinks, like the signature drinks, cocktails.
Drinks. Yeah.
And they weren't simple. They took several steps. They took like lots of work to create. And she would talk to me, and she would like change the arrangement and everything and how it should be. And then she would come back and say, how is it not done yet? And I'm like,
So it's your fault.
did anyone else see what happened in the last few hours? So that same person would charge the event, the client extra, either because they left late and or the DJ left late. Do you remember what we did? We were outside.
Yes.
And because my girl also worked there,
Yes.
I just told her, you know what, just like we'll leave and you leave. You know, we're outdoors like that.
It was easier, right? Because we were outside. If we were indoors, it would be a
They still
different
weren't supposed to leave us alone.
They weren't.
They weren't supposed. That's like that. Like if anything happened on their property, it would be on them. But I used to work there too, so we disconnected everything, reconnected whatever needed to be reconnected, and we left. But we were still very quick.
Yeah. With all the equipment, we were still pretty quick, I guess.
But you know, this happens. It's not made up. I'm not trying to make it more interesting. This happens. And actually, it almost happened in the other venue as well. I don't know if she ever did that in the other venue I used to work at. She was also...
Manager there? She's a manager there?
No,
well?
another one. She was also kind of problematic. But yeah, and it just leave on time. Yeah, like make that good impression. You know what? A fun story, a nice story, like a positive one. That other place where you're... is it out west or out north?
Up north.
Yeah, where we were told actually like, oh, we were fantastic. We loaded in quickly and we loaded out quickly, right?
Yeah.
They noticed that. That was the wedding. That was the coordinator.
Yeah.
Right?
She loved me.
Yeah. So it's extremely important.
And they also mentioned in the post or review said, oh, this is why he's one of our in-house vendors. Exactly. I was like, oh, thank you. Yeah. So
all right,
it makes a difference.
Yes. Secondary is the guests or patrons because they are who we are predominantly playing for, and a lot of our success of the night is directly related to whether they are dancing or not, making noise and overall
just having a good time, right?
A good time, and
yeah.
And then what's the biggest part? Like, why are they so important?
Well,
besides that,
they can hire us too.
How many times did people walk up to you? Hey,
so
Nino,
many times.
You're doing my wedding next year, or like, hey, and the one where they did the same day video edit, right? You had at least two couples,
yeah,
and then one couple whom wedding you already did.
I already did
in one wedding.
Yes,
so it's like 2 or 3 couples there.
yeah, it's wow.
It's just exponential.
Yeah,
in one wedding,
you never know who's gonna get married or have an event, right?
Or if it's a birthday, who's gonna want you for their kids' event or someone?
Yeah,
right?
You never know. They'll recommend you to other people, right? Because
there's so many connections. There's so many connections to be made.
So you gotta make sure you're on your A game all the time, right? So we're pleasing like the guests, literally. We have to make them happy because if they're not happy and dancing, the couple's gonna be like, why aren't people dancing?
They'll feel guilty that they got the worst DJs.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
So
even though sometimes it's really not us.
It's not us. It's not our fault. Sometimes something's
up with them.
Something's up, yeah.
Or maybe because we told you not to get a photo booth
that starts at the same time when the dance floor opens. It's gonna fight the dance floor, and then the photo booth is in another room, which everybody has to leave. Yeah, it's not our fault sometimes, right? And eventually they'll come back, but
it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work to get people back up.
Yes, I actually had another point. I forgot what it was, but we do have people we're not trying to please.
Yes, and this is obvious, like drunk and belligerent guests that are requesting terrible song choices. We're technically not supposed to please them. We don't want to please them. They're not in the right mind to even request certain songs, and they don't know what's going to keep people dancing.
They are in a different reality at that point.
Yeah,
some people are really bad drunks.
Some people are rude, very, very rude. Play my song now. demanding.
Yeah, they make a very uncomfortable, turn situations into very uncomfortable situations. But yeah, like if you give them a little, they'll ask for more, and you need to know how to kind of control that situation without making a scene or something, right?
That's very important.
I'm giggling because there's so many stories.
There are so many instances where this happens, right? So many drunk guests.
Like when I went to the bathroom for like a moment. Fine, I was a bit more in the moment because I was also on my phone on the way back, and I was like walking really slowly.
Yeah, I really needed
you. You can handle it.
Yeah, no, not this.
He needed
girl.
me again. One of the shorts, you can hear him saying once. He needed me once, but it was more than once. More than once. Guys.
Okay, I did need you there, man. Because I needed you.
Oh, okay. I thought I didn't hear.
I was playing, and then she wouldn't leave me alone. She was like touching my stuff. I'm like,
apparently my equipment.
What are you doing? Yes. And I was like, okay, touch his equipment. No, I was like trying to get her away, just in general, right?
And
but
she was like holding her beer or whatever that was, and she was her face. She looked like she was like not there. I've never seen someone so unaware.
Yeah,
I can't imagine how much she had to drink.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And her boyfriend felt so uncomfortable. He was like pulling her away, and like I'm like, I don't want to manhandle your girlfriend, let alone anyone really, but like right in front of you.
Yeah, in front of you, yeah.
But she would attack my controller. Like and like, did you see what she was like smacking it, and like I'm like, what are you doing? Like she was trying to piss me off or something.
I don't know.
Did she want a song? What did she want?
I don't know. She just wanted to play with our equipment.
Wow. That was funny.
I was like, wow.
Some of the stories, like, we'll tell you guys, like, those who don't DJ on that level yet, you won't believe it.
Yeah, some requests too. Like, I got a drunk person asking me, "Can you play Midnight Train for me?" I'm like, "Midnight Train by who?" I'm like, "I don't know. It's just the song with the Midnight Train in it." I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I googled it, Midnight Train. Like, there's the Journey song. What's that? Can you sing it for me? And then she actually sang it from. Yeah, it was the Journey song, right?
Wow. Yes, a lot of people will have a different name for the song. They'll remember.
You know
something.
what? We'll actually do an episode on that just specifically because I have so many of those instances.
And for me, when I just started DJing, I'm speaking about it like I've been DJing for 10 years, but when I just started, it was hard because I didn't know some songs, so I just searched it by the name they gave me, and like 2 out of 10 times, 3 out of 10 times, it would be like not the name of the song.
Yeah.
So I'd find it in the lyrics.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I hope that's the song, and every time it was, but it was you could have played something completely unrelated. Oh, that's a big one. Other DJs.
Yes, and this is a big one because as DJs, we tend to have egos. We sometimes we don't admit it, but we all tend to have egos.
No.
So when there's another DJ around, like there's a DJ in the crowd, you tend to want to impress them, right? But you shouldn't. You just do your thing, right? It's almost our insecurity. We're trying to show off.
Or like the camaraderie could be like, hey, look what I can do.
Yeah. And I found myself doing this all the time, but I don't really focus on it, but I do it subconsciously. I do it, and I kind of tend to show off.
You do your routines.
Doing my routines, and then sometimes I get like the odd. From the DJ, I'm like, oh,
that was good.
Yeah, so I'm like, he noticed. Sort of thing, right? Because it's just a confidence booster. But honestly, you shouldn't.
Especially if you have someone like super like famous walking in and like to the club, if that's a club or something like that. I remember reading some stories.
Yeah,
and and then they would walk up to the DJ and say, "Hey, you did a fantastic job."
Yeah, it's a big ego boost, right? Especially if it's your idol. Like somebody you looked up to, and then they talk to you and tell you that. Like, it's like, wow, can't believe it.
Yeah. So I guess one of the best ways you can impress them is by doing your job and impressing the crowd.
Yeah.
and then they'll be impressed too.
Yeah, just do your job. You're there to provide a service. If you're there for a wedding, rock the crowd as you would, right? Try not to think about any outside things because it could make you nervous as well, and give you the nerves, and you probably will screw up.
Yeah.
So don't let it get to you. Just do your thing. Do what you do best, sort of thing, right?
Yeah. So bottom line, you can't please everyone.
Yeah.
Especially with music, if you're an open format DJ, there'll always be a divide, like an age, genres, genre groups, etc. And we don't focus on the people who are not dancing. We focus on the majority of those who are dancing and keeping the dance floor alive.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly.
It's if you have 65-75% of people dancing, I'd say you're winning.
Yeah, we're winning, right? You focus on the majority, the people that are dancing. You want to keep them there, right? The people that aren't dancing won't dance.
And I saw that shift, like those waves of people going in and out.
Yeah.
When you're like, I'm like, Nino, that person asked for that request. He still didn't play it. I think it would work out. And you're like, no,
there's so
I don't want to play it. And I'm like, no, you should play it. And then suddenly you see that shift of like 70% of the people just went to the bar,
and then the rest of them would come on. The ones that like the group, right, would get on, right?
But sometimes it would be the other way around.
Yeah,
right. I'll remind you about a request, and then that group would stay, and then that group would join. And then suddenly you have almost everyone on the dance floor at once.
Yeah,
but it's hard to keep for a long time.
It's hard to keep, man, because sometimes people, groups want rock, and some want R&B, right? So how are you gonna?
Yeah,
how are you gonna please them? You're gonna have to go back and forth. Sometimes it's tough. It's tough. You can't please everyone at the same time.
So as long as you get the majority of people and you have a good flow, I think you're doing a good job.
You're doing a good job. Yeah.
All right. Well, there we go. That's another episode.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for joining another episode of The Clever DJ.
We'll see you guys next one. All right.
See you next one.